But I guess I'm early. It didn't schedule. It just started. So we're just gonna wing. I'm just gonna get myself set up while you guys are here, even though nobody's here yet. Just enjoying a coffee on this nice, is it Wednesday today? I think it's Wednesday today. It's Wednesday. So, what's up everybody? Happy Wednesday. We're halfway through the week, even though it feels like we're halfway through the year. Well, we are halfway through the year, but you know what I mean. It's been a long week. So today is going to be an exciting day for me because I'm harvesting my cucumber. I am very excited. It's getting big, you guys. I can't wait. Just looking for my gloves. So yeah, yesterday was a busy day. Well, between yesterday and the day prior, we pruned everything. Today I had some new cucumber flowers open, so I'll show you guys, do a little walk around. But yeah, we've got some female flowers popping, which is exciting. Up here, I'm so disorganized today that I actually have to put my phone on the charger while I do the live, you guys. Just a little bit of a mess, but that's what comes with the commitment of going live every day. All right. So today, I'm going to take you guys around the tent, show you guys everything. What's up, Vince? Thank you for joining. I'm going to show you guys everything that's going on. We're going to go through everything that's growing. We're going to go through the seedlings. I'm just trying to put this up on my Instagram, you guys. Normally I schedule the live and then post the link on my Instagram story for anyone that's interested in joining or popping in to say hello. And when I hit schedule, it just went live. So you guys caught me off guard, but it's all good. All good. So yeah, guys, I'm just distracted for a minute while I figure this out, but hope everyone is having a great Wednesday. Live, so you guys caught me. Whoop. Yeah, so yesterday we pruned our pepper plants. They're doing quite well today. They're the pepper just gotta get my life together here. Give me 1 minute. It's the beauty of having two phones, you guys. Use one to go live. Well, not one is a very old phone, but anyways, I don't even know if this is worth doing. Anyway, forget about it. I'll do this later. So what's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Working away in the grow tent. Today I posted a short about the kale, and that kale video is actually from a few days ago, and now the kale has so much more since then. It's crazy. I can't even keep up with my update videos anymore because there's just too many to report. But yeah, today is a good day. Everything's coming along in the tent. Gonna be harvesting the cucumber today, which is so exciting. Plants are getting tall. Yes, they are much taller than me. We're gonna go around and a little walk around since it is noon now. Wait for a couple more people to arrive, but yeah, harvesting the cucumber today. It's been a long time coming, you guys. It's been a journey. My first grow, I did have a cucumber, but it was the weirdest shape that I'm starting to think or feel like it didn't really count. So this is a monumental moment for me that I actually have a cucumber successfully growing that I get to harvest today. What's up, jackashes? Thank you for joining. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is where you're at. I'm happy you guys are here. Excited to hang out. I walked into my tent this morning and I had several leaks. So all the nozzle fixing and stuff that I did, I think I may have knocked some buckets to the side or nudged them. And I've just been dealing with leaks all morning. So trying to get that under control. Every time you fix one problem, you get like 10 more. So that's the life of me, I guess, my life. Every time I something resolved, another several problems present themselves. But they're not problems, you guys. They're opportunities. Every problem, look at it as an opportunity. So that's what I try to tell myself to make me feel better. You guys should do the same because it works. It does. All right, so I'm gonna take you guys around on a little tour. I need to give some romaine seedlings my attention today. I germinated them, they sprouted, and yesterday we talked about how usually I feed them a little bit. I use this spray bottle here, and I use a little bit of distilled water, Florinova Grow. So this stuff right here, just like a drop and a little bit of hydrogen peroxide, and then the seedlings take off. But I don't want to say overwhelmed, but I'm going to use the word overwhelmed for lack of a better word. I'm so overwhelmed with everything going on in the tent that I kind of neglected the seedlings, and it definitely slows down their growth if you don't do certain things. So I got to get back on that, you guys, because the grass grows where you water it. You know what I mean? There is a cosmic law which says that every satisfaction must be paid for with a dissatisfaction. That is true. That's absolutely true, actually. There's always good with bad and bad with good. That's just life, right? It's balance. You gotta have balance, and if you don't, life will balance things for you. So yeah, like I said though, they're all opportunities for growth and for learning. I try not to look at it as problems. Vincent says, do good, get good. Yeah, not always, but yeah, a lot of people, you know, the saying bad things happen to good people. So it is true. There are bad things that happen to good people, but maybe those things happen for a reason, because it's supposed to put the person on a better path. I don't know. But, you know, I've had some difficult things happen in my life, and as a result, I focused on garden just to try to not to be dramatic, to heal my soul. And now we're here. So I think the healing is complete. We've got a lot of plants. So yeah, it really depends. But yes, karma is real. I do believe in karma. So watch out, you guys. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I do believe in karma. That's why I get so bummed out about killing my plants or letting them die. Because can you imagine if somebody let me die? I'm just kidding. Anyways, all right. So, speaking of doing good, I have not been doing right by my seedlings, you guys. They're looking so rough. They're still alive, but you can't focus and prioritize on 20 things at once. And I've been prioritizing the health of my plant currently fruiting, and so that sucks because now that I've started to harvest the orange tower, I gotta be mindful that, hey, I gotta ration this lettuce if I don't want to buy from the store, because I don't have seedlings that are ready yet. So today's goal is to feed them, make sure that they're properly taken care of. We're gonna take the lid off. Usually the lid is off, but sometimes I've been really careless, guys. I just got too much going on that I forget to water them, and so some of them don't make it. But keeping the lid on keep the humidity, and then I don't have to water them as often. So it's kind of like I'm getting away with it, but obviously the seedlings would be much better. They'd probably be already ready to go in the tower. I taken care of them properly. So I'm just trying to be super honest and transparent. Not everything in my tent is perfect. I'm far from it, and I still have a ways to go, and I like to take on too much at once and overwhelm myself, and so that is what I've done here. However, girls gotta eat, so I have to stay on top of my germinating and do a better job at for everything in the grow tent. Eric says, hydroponics was always a great way for me to de-stress, enjoy the routine, and seeing the growth of some. Yes, I totally agree with that. So it's a great way to de-stress, and also, you know, when life knocks you down, there's nothing that'll bring you back up than growing your own plant. Like, I just, you know, I think sometimes I think of myself like God, you guys, where I'm like, wow, look at everything I'm growing. I can grow. Anyways, I'm being dramatic, but you know what I mean. It is very therapeutic. It is so good for the soul, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I never thought I'd be into gardening. I used to be somebody that was just more focused on a social life and having fun with friends and kind of going through life distracted, and I decided to slow down, focus on the garden, and now we're here. So back to the tour. Enough about me and my feelings. We've got the romaine lettuce is finally going in an upright structure, which is exactly what I've wanted. It is cooler in the tent temperature wise, which is great because the lettuce and the kale are loving it. They have bolted. I've got parsley, dill, more parsley. I've got tomatoes I'm testing out in the tower, new parsley, all the kale. So this is the kale that I posted today, but that up was from last week. These are getting quite large. These are dinosaur kale, also known as Jacinto kale. I've got basil right here. Anyways, everything in this tower is coming along nicely with it. This romaine is so heavy that the net pot's kind of flopping out there, but that's okay. Buckets. We've got our first straight 8 cucumber. Yesterday we measured it. I think it was 5 inches and a quarter. Let's measure it today. Just trying to get my measuring tape handy here. I mean, I don't think it's grown in length, but I do think it's grown in width. All right, so yeah, we'll see how it tastes. I can't wait. I'm going to make a little video about it tonight when I harvest it. What's up, Les? Happy hump day to you all. We made halfway through the week, guys. So cucumbers. Hand pollinating. Indoor cucumbers must be hand pollinated. If you guys have been following along, you know challenges I've had with hand pollination. So this is an example of a cucumber that was successfully hand pollinated, and I have a new female flower that emerged yesterday. It opened yesterday, so I pollinated the crap out of it. And Les, we were talking about you yesterday before you showed up on the live, because you gave me the advice of off the male flower, flipping the petals back, and using that to actually pollinate directly into the female flower. So that's exactly what I did with the that's currently growing, and I think that's why. So thank you. Maybe the electric toothbrush is a little too harsh. I do have an electric toothbrush that I use for hand pollinating. Trying to let the battery drain a little bit so that it's not as vigorous or rough for these girls. But anyways, I pollinated it yesterday. I pollinated it today. So I don't know. We'll see. It looks like it's growing. If it wasn't pollinated properly within a couple days, it just won't. It'll just stay stagnant. And then this girl, this female flower right there, I also pollinated yesterday and this morning. So that's also why these straight 8 cucumbers, they get larger. I could wait till it gets bigger, but A, the color is getting lighter, which means it's ripening, and B, I need to harvest it so that the plant's energy can focus on producing the new cucumbers that are showing up. So that is the focus. Sorry guys, a little coffee break. All right, so tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, still waiting for these guys to ripen. I'm gonna have to look into how to expedite that process, because otherwise they sit on the vine forever and it's annoying. I want to eat them. So we've got tons of new clusters of flowers and tomatoes growing, which is always exciting, you guys. Even up here we've got a bunch. I pruned quite a bit the other day, and 2 days later I've got tons of flowers everywhere. So we are going to have an abundance. This was the first cluster that was ready, and not ready, but that grew and still not ripening. So if you guys have any tips to expedite the ripening, they're still firm, so they're not like overripe or anything, but I do like tomatoes to have a bit of that pop. I don't like it when they're soft. I want a little bit of a crunchiness, so I don't want them to get soft before they ripen. So if you guys have any tips for that, let me know. If not, I'll just hit up my good old friend Google. What's up, Pro Pyro? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, guys. Thank you for hanging out. Hope everyone's having a great start to their week, or a great midweek. So a lot more flowers here. I've got what appears to be heart-shaped tomatoes. It's probably because there was a time where I was overwatering, but how cute are those? And then yellow tower, we've got some algae growth. I don't know, I gotta figure that out. Sometimes when I assemble it, I don't snap everything back together, and we get little leaks, and then it causes algae growth. So I have to address that as soon as possible. Maybe just not today, because like I said, I got a lot to worry about in this tent. So our parsley's growing. These little celosia, they're flowers. I started them in the tower, and the goal is to get them outside, but they're taking so freaking long that I don't know, man. I might just plant them outside, and if they make it, they make it, and if they don't, they don't. We're probably going to finish off today's live by going outside. I'll take you guys and I'll show you my outdoor garden. The green tower is all cleaned up and ready to go. Lemon seedling, and oh man, the peppers are just thriving today, especially after we pruned them yesterday. If you guys joined in the fun yesterday, we pruned all our pepper plants, and they're looking so good, you guys. So good. Got lots of flowers, lots of peppers, and I'm looking forward to this grow. This is, so far, I'm gonna jinx it, but it's the best grow I've ever had, just because I've learned so much, and I'm just really staying dedicated to this garden. I literally spend all my time in here, you guys. Any free moment I have is spent in the garden. It does take work, you know. It's not all easy and fun and games. So here, Chinese 5-color pepper plant, which is so exciting, because look at that. Isn't that a beautiful color? I don't know if this one just is going to ripen or what's going to happen, but this one's yellow, and it looks like it's going to turn purple. These guys have 5 different colored peppers, hence the name Chinese 5-color pepper. And our watermelon since yesterday, I don't know if I'm just making this up, but I swear I see some flowers in there. So maybe it'll start flowering, but we got to get these on the trellis. So I have like butcher's twine. I might just hang some down and start to get the tendril to grab onto it to help it. This is going to need extra support, because even though sugar baby watermelons are small, they're larger than this, so they're gonna need some support to sustain the weight once the fruit starts developing. For those of you that have been following along, the strawberries, it's been a little bit of a journey. I have a hard time sometimes with strawberries, not gonna lie. These ones were in the grow tower, and I have to adjust. I'm having some concerns about the watering in the grow tower. The watering is running 24/7 now, so it just trickles, and it's not a heavy flow of water. I usually leave it on, but I think it's causing either root rot or lack of oxygen circulation for the plants. So I made the call to take this strawberry plant, move it into the buckets for now until I figure out my watering schedule for the tower. And the reason why I've been putting it off is because the app where you create the schedule for the smart plug. You have to create a routine, and I'd have to create like 50 different routines to turn the water on and off periodically all day long. And I don't want to do that. I don't have the time, the patience, but I have to make the time and I have to figure it out. Or I can manually just, which I've done in the past, manually go into the app and shut the water off for like 20 minutes, give things a break, and then turn it back on. But that's a dangerous game to play, you guys, because it happens where you forget to turn it back on. So, and then you're SOL. So I made the call for now to move the strawberries back into the buckets, and ever since we did, we got tons of new leaves unfurling. What I really want to see though are the runners. Once we get more runners, which are just these stems here with no leaves, those are so easy to propagate. They root so easily. So we'll get a runner, we're gonna stick it in here, and then once it roots, we're gonna cut the runner, and then when that gets a runner, we're gonna stick it in here and then cut it, and we'll have one, we'll make plants out of one, and then eventually we'll populate that yellow tower, because that's the goal, guys, for that to be the strawberry tower. I also had, these are dahlia seedlings. They're flowers that are supposed to go outside in the backyard. I've started them in the aeroponic system. They started off in the tower, but since the tower is only getting grow fertilizer, I decided to move them to the buckets where the buckets are getting bloom fertilizer. Same deal for the strawberry. Strawberries will require bloom eventually because they are flowering, and so I decided to put it in the buckets, which was a great decision. This flower, I was bragging about how clean I kept it and how pruning it is better to redirect the energy to the flower, and I pruned off all the suckers that nothing else is blooming or there's no other flowering branches. So gonna give it some time. Maybe we'll see some miracles happen, but if not, I have others. I have more where that came from, so there is a in there somewhere. This one is gonna open any day now. I don't know what color they're gonna be. I don't know what variety. We're just gonna find out when it opens, guys. It's the best part, surprises. What's up, E4T? Welcome, welcome. What's up, Mia Lifestyle? Good afternoon, you guys. Thank you again for coming to hang out with me. I tried to do deep water culture for cherry tomatoes and it went horribly. I had about 4 cherry tomatoes and a bunch of leaves and vines. It drank a lot of water and was such a headache. Oh, I wonder if there's certain tomato varieties that do better for deep water culture or different applications, right? No, I'm sure there are. Like, I know, first of all, you probably want an indeterminate variety. If it set fruit only one time and nothing else happened after, it could be that you had a determinate variety. But yeah, there are certain varieties that do better just for soil outgrowing, and other varieties that do better indoor for aeroponics. I'm still trying to figure out what those are. All I know is that I tried to get fancy last grow, and I got all these, they're beautiful seeds, but they're more for outdoor tomatoes. They're determinate variety, and they're I had one called a big rainbow tomato. It gets out like 5 pounds. It's massive and it's a beautiful rainbow color, yellow, orange, red. It's beautiful. But I tried growing it in the system and it didn't do well. I don't know what it was. Maybe, I mean, I've learned so much since I grew those tomatoes, so I have like a whole list of things running through my head as I say this. So I don't know what the issue was. It could have been the environment, the watering, the grow medium. It's so many things that honestly I have no idea. But I know that things like cherry tomatoes or the smaller varieties do better, at least for me. But again, this is only my 3rd row, I guess, so what do I know? I'm still very much learning. But yeah, I also grew another variety. They're black tomatoes. They're beautiful and amazing, but again, they're supposed to get up to 5 pounds, and for some reason in buckets I just couldn't get it to that size. So for those of you that have been following along, I am really trying to go in with the intention of maximizing or optimizing the quality of the fruit and the flavor, because I don't want to just be able to say, hey, look, it grew, it's got to taste good, because that is the whole point of growing my own food. Everything from the store tastes so blah that if I'm going to have, you know, this setup, I have to make it worthwhile. Otherwise, it defeats the purpose, you know, especially the nutrient density of the fruit. I want to make sure that you're getting something out of it, you know. Anyways, so yeah, I'm going to take you guys here if I can. All right. So right now, I don't really have much of a plan. I'm just going to prep my solution to water my seedlings, and then I'm kind of just gonna take a look at them and assess. I have neglected them, you guys. You know, it happens. I'm not perfect. I kill a lot of plants. I neglect a lot of stuff, and the stuff that you see growing and thriving is the stuff that I put my energy into, but that's not always the case, right? Sometimes we don't always have the time. By the way, if you guys haven't been following along and you don't know what kind of flowers I'm growing, this is not a less colorful variety. It's a lime color, so it doesn't really look like a flower, but it is a zinnia. It's a queenie lime with blush is the and this was our first aeroponic flower. I grow a cut garden outside for the last year, so this is gonna be my second year doing it, and I thought, you know what, let me try to grow these indoors. These are a summer flower, and if I can have them all year round, that would be so cool. John says tobacco. Is that tomato tobacco hybrid? Black crim are a nice tomato. Yes, black crim are amazing. Vincent says hit that like button. Everybody go listen to Vince. Hit that like button. G4T says get to popping some seeds. It looks like you have a lot of empty space. Man, you're stressing me out. I'm just kidding. Hey, okay, no we didn't. Diatomaceous earth, good soil, sun is bomb. Yes, all those things are good, except I grow indoors, so I gotta simulate an outdoor environment. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate you. I try to keep it as outdoor-like as possible and as clean as possible, but nobody's perfect. So yeah, G4T's right. Gotta start new seeds. I do have empty space. Everything was so full because I started my flowers for outdoor. I started them in the systems, so everything was occupado, but no longer, you guys. Now I've got empty space that I have to fill, which is why I'm banking on some runners growing for those tomatoes so I can propagate. And anyways, I gotta wash this actually. All right. Just hang tight for 1 second. I'm just gonna go rinse this out. Don't leave. I'm back. So the old me would have... All right, so there was, I'm pretty close to perfect. Are you kidding me? John, you just became my new favorite person in the chat. I'm so far from perfect, but thank you so much. This bottle was covered in algae, and the old me would be like, meh, it's fine, just fill it back up, who cares? But I didn't put all this work in for nothing. The seedlings are already neglected, and if I were to water them with a bottle covered in algae, I would introduce algae to the plant. As a result, it would go into the tower, and it would be a big cleanup and mess after the fact. So better to do things initially than to take shortcuts. And for those of you that don't know me, I am the shortcut queen. Love a good shortcut. So I'm just doing distilled water in here, and then I've just got a dropper. I'm gonna just put a drop of hydrogen peroxide, a drop of the Florinova Grow, and that's it, you guys. So got a couple of droppers here. Where's my hydrogen peroxide? And a lot of people may come at me and say, well, that defeats the purpose. Why are you adding hydrogen peroxide as well as nutrients? And I'm adding in literally the smallest little drop of 3%. It's just supposed to be, I'm adding in 0.5 mils. I don't even know if that's enough. Les, you tell me. You're the one that gave me this advice, and it's great. But normally I just put a couple drops in, what is this, 500 mils of water. I should probably know how many drops and stay consistent with that, but I just watch it and I make sure that my plants aren't dying, and if they start to die, then I discontinue use immediately. And then I just add a drops in. Introducing this early to the seedlings, I guess it makes them go like crazy, grow like crazy. It just definitely expedites their growth rate. So I hope that I can salvage them. I really have a bad job. I'm in such a rush that just at night before bed, I just give them a couple seeds, and fingers crossed they'll be alive in the morning. So, oh man, I just got fertilizer all over myself. Peroxide helps kill algae. Plants also like the extra oxygen molecule. Yes, they do. That is a fact. And the only reason why I know that is because I've tried it myself and I see the difference. So yeah, guys, it's Wednesday, halfway through the week, almost the weekend. I don't know if anybody in the chat lives in Canada or Ontario, but summer's off to such a slow start. But the flowers that I transferred last weekend outside are struggling. They're so cold. Some of them are turning brown. It ain't good, guys. All right, so I'm just gonna add in, so it's 1 ml per liter. I'm gonna add in like 0.25 milliliters, less. Because you add in 0.5 milliliters per liter according to the recommended amount. 0.5 milliliters of fertilizer to 1 liter of water, but I'm introducing them to it for the first time, so I always start off with half the recommended amount. You're better off starting slow and needing, if you need to add more, you can, versus just right off the bat overdoing it, and then you can't take it back. You can always add more. So that is another thing about me, is I really overuse product when it comes to anything in life. When I do the dishes, I overuse soap. When I water my plants, I overwater. When I just overdo it with product. And this garden has definitely taught me the concept of less is more. And then again, you can always go in and add after. So I'm just gonna move you guys around. We're gonna grab our seedlings, and don't judge me, you guys. Half of them are dead and they look rough, but it is what it is. So I thought that they were underwatered, but they're definitely the sponges are quite saturated. So I don't know, we're gonna see what we're gonna do. Maybe we can actually start to get some of them in the tower. I'm just gonna go through and assess them to see what is going on. I have space now in the orange tower, so I can always throw some in there. They're ready to go. We'll see. You can do a soil drench using 1 part peroxide to 4 parts water to kill fungus gnats. Oh, that is good to know. I often have fungus gnat issues, so. All right. I opened the sponge too fast and I already broke a root, you guys. So they're actually not as bad as I thought. I thought they were going to be worse, but I'm just going to give them a little bit of watering with this solution. See what I mean? Is like, come on, man. I got to be better than this. What the heck is that? It's not even in sponge and the root is burnt. All right, so got to do a bit of a better job, you guys. I'll just flip you and show you. I'm just going to give them a little bit of a watering, and normally don't water them when they're going to be under the light. But I'm just, with this, I can target just the root. And so that's what I'm going to try to do. And again, you guys, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just, whatever. When I don't have a good reason for doing what I'm doing, then I just chalk it up to whatever. And I do it anyways. All right, so just making sure that the root is getting a little bit, ooh, sorry guys. The root is getting a little bit of this. And on the weekend, we'll set up the green tower. We should start some new seeds tomorrow. G for T's right. So tomorrow's live. We're going to start some new seeds. I'm going to get all my seeds. I'm going to show you guys all like the lettuce varieties and stuff I have. And you guys can tell me what you want me to grow out of that stuff. We're going to do it all. Oh my gosh, there's so many seedlings in this little one. So some of you guys asked me if I can do, you know, several seedlings in one sponge or collar. Yes, you can. I did it right here. But yeah, as you can see, the bottom of that root there is scorched. It needs water. It is not happy or healthy. And so I'm a bad plant mom. It's like something's got to give, you know? Some things in the garden thrive while other things suffer. Fully watered that leaf and I didn't mean to. See, this one, RIP. I'm really used to this now, just dead seedlings. I really need to give, seedlings are the most crucial part. That's why I'm shocked that all the parsley in the yellow tower's alive. Oops. That one's gonna burn and die. Normally you're supposed to do this at night, guys, but these guys are desperate, so whatever. So yeah, within the next couple of days, hopefully they'll bounce back a little bit. But yeah, I'm quite used to having seedlings that don't last long. They do need the most attention, to be honest. Actually, any growth stage requires its own type of special attention, but particularly seedlings, because it's very easy to overwater, underwater, too much light, not enough light, too cold, too hot. Like there's so many things, and because they're so fragile and so young, they're not as resilient as the other stuff, right? So I've pruned off everything but one leaf off of a plant that's more mature, and it bounces back no problem because it's more resilient. But if you decapitate a seedling, obviously it's going to die. So there's different levels of care involved. The challenge I have with parsley is that because it's so small, I guess I just never water it right. I'm nervous to overwater it because it's so small, and then sometimes I end up underwatering it. So the fact that I have all these growing, and I even said this yesterday, I said, guys, I'm out of the woods. Oh, there's so much hard water here. I'm out of the woods, you guys. I have the first true leaf, and that's honestly how I feel. Is as soon as the first true leaf comes up, even with strawberries, any of those really small, oh, like oregano and thyme, is the hardest for me. I had one that had its true leaves, that was growing, but it was in hydroclay, and some of the net pot was exposed. Not the net pot. The hydroclay wasn't all the way to the top of the net pot, and so water was trickling over the leaves, and then being obviously in the tower in front of a light, the leaves burnt, and I was so disappointed because again, I've tried so many times to get the seedlings growing, and then finally when I do, I ruined it in another way. So you get knocked down a lot, and I've definitely realized that things take a work and a lot of effort, but as long as you enjoy doing it, it's always a pleasure. So I'm gonna get these back under the light. Just take you guys with me. I'm not gonna cover them right now. I'm gonna give them some oxygen. That's another thing, is before, when I was tending to seedlings, I would germinate them and on a heating pad, and once they got leaves, I would actually leave them in the tray on the heating pad. And you shouldn't do that. As soon as your seeds show a couple of leaves or sprout a couple of leaves, I don't even know how to pronounce it. They're called cotyledons or whatever. Yeah, as soon as those sprout, you gotta introduce oxygen and treat it completely differently than a germinating seed. And so now I'm just getting the hang of germination and doing it successfully. And yeah, I know what they're called. I just don't know how to pronounce it. Cotyledons, cotyledons. I don't know what emphasis to put on which syllable, you guys, but another thing Google can help me with. So that's the thing about this channel, you guys, is there's no shame. I literally don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just learning every day, doing the best I can, and thanks to people like Les, I get the terminology right. So I appreciate you guys. If you guys ever see anything that I'm showing you or whatever I'm doing, if you have any tips or tricks, please feel free to either comment, but if you're gonna criticize or you're gonna say something, you gotta subscribe. That's the deal. But I honestly appreciate any tips, tricks, criticism. Dr. Danknug says, we live and learn. I mess up all the time. And you know what? That's probably makes you the best grower or the most successful human, is messing up. Because for me, I'm such a hands-on person that if I don't mess up, I don't learn. And so, you know, all the times that I screwed up my cucumbers, well, the reason why I have this one growing right now is because of those times, right? So you also gotta not take everything so, like, not take it to heart. It's okay if you mess up, it's all good. But it is scary when I'm showing you guys, especially on a live, and putting it all out there. I get a lot of people that are like, this girl does not know what she's doing. Why does she have this set up? And all I have to say is F up. No, I'm just kidding. I just say, you know, I'm learning, and go big or go home. As long as you learn from mistakes, you should never be ashamed of messing up. Exactly. I'm not ashamed of messing up unless it's something stupid. Like, there are things that are stupid and there are things that are easily preventable. And I seem to have a knack for screwing those things up too. Eric says there's no real right or wrong when you're having fun. It's just a data point. Yes, you are 100% correct. And what I always say when I'm doing something is, guys, I'm not trying to preach or say this is the way. It's whatever works for you. There's so many variables when it comes to gardening, especially indoor gardening, that it really comes down to whatever works for you. A lot of people like doing things a certain way, and a lot of people are constantly looking for the best way and take a more progressive approach. So whatever works, man, just have fun. As long as you're having fun and you're learning, one way or another, you're gonna expand your mind, because that's just the way it works with plants. And I was saying yesterday that, because so many people ask me, this was like an investment, have you recouped the cost? And I always say, in terms of harvests, no, but my mind has expanded so much that I feel like I already, like, spiritually and intellectually recoup the cost like tenfold. But that excuse is going to run out eventually. I have to have some stuff to show for it. So that's why I'm excited that this grow, I finally feel like I'm applying everything that I've learned in the last, hasn't even been 2 years. It feels like it's been forever, but it's been a short time, and the amount I've learned, I just want to share it all with you guys so that we can just exchange information, because I'm always looking for a better way. Les says there are no mistakes, just happy accidents. Well, I wouldn't go that far. Not all accidents are happy, but yes, there are no such things as mistakes or problems. Like I said in the beginning of this live, it's all about opportunities, you guys. Every time I have something that's an issue or a problem, I have to look at it through the lens of, no, this is an opportunity. How can we improve, or how can we make it better? So that is really what I'm trying to achieve in this grow tent, and it's tough for a person like me, because for those of you, if any of you are watching, know me, I'm so careless that I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I grew all this stuff, and I can't believe I'm so consistent, because, you know, consistency is key, but sometimes life gets in the way. What else do I need to do today? I was going to propagate some parsley initially, because that was my plan. I only had 2 parsley plants. I was going to propagate it. Last grow, I tried to propagate it, and I didn't research how to properly propagate prior to trying it. And so I cut off a bunch of stems, just stuck them in water, and nothing happened. So this time I got smart, and I actually looked it up, and you have to propagate or cut below the growth node. And so that was going to be my plan. Because I have such a struggle with small seedlings, I was actually going to just, from the 2 plants that I managed to keep alive, continuously propagate and fill up a tower, because I love parsley, and so I want an abundance. And you go through it so fast anyways. So that was the plan, but then I tried again, germinating seeds, and I just continuously tried, and I tried different approaches. And I mean, it might sound like common sense to some, but I didn't even know that as soon as they get their leaves, they need oxygen. So they would automatically die, and I wasted so many seeds. You guys, I have germinated so many seeds that don't sprout. I can't even tell you. Shorts where I post like, oh, today I'm germinating blah, blah, blah seeds. Yet the intention was there, and I did germinate, and they did sprout, but then I killed it. Like, I remember one video that stands out was a honeydew, and I germinated it, and it developed into a seedling, and it was all good. And then I forget what happened, but somehow I killed it. And I mean, nobody ever comes back and asks me, hey, what happened to your honeydew? So that's why I like lives, because you guys always remember stuff, and you hold me accountable. Yeah, so no honeydew. And watermelon, this is my 5th try at watermelon, which watermelon should be easier. Same with cucumber, because as soon as the seed sprouts, those roots are like thick right off that, and it's really hard to kill a plant or a seedling that's so strong, I guess. I don't know what else to call it. But yeah, things like parsley, cilantro, herbs, they're so tiny, and it's such a challenge to just tend to them properly. So that is my rant about seedlings. I am going to see if I can shut the camera off for a minute. I'm going to take you guys outside and show you the outdoor garden as promised. There's one I couldn't germinate. 7-year-old birds on chili. Oh, well, did you try, who taught me that? One of you guys, we talked about, was it called scarification or stratification? I don't know. There's a term that you're supposed to do to the seed to try to break down the outer shell to help it germinate. We tried it with, didn't we try it with the sugar snap peas, where you have to scar it or do something to it? Whoever in the chat knows what I'm talking about, enlighten us, because I'm forgetting. But all right, hang on a second. I'm just going to, and I still have my gloves on. Let me take my gloves off. Oh, maybe if they weren't stored in a cool, dry place, it's possible. You guys always have to be mindful of how you store your seeds. All right, camera's off for a minute. I'm gonna walk outside and show you guys. So for those of you wondering why my outdoor garden is relevant, well, we started all our seeds indoors and in the aeroponic system. And so now they're outside and we are going to check on how they're doing. It's sunny out, so let's see. Oh, sorry. I had you guys on mute this whole time and I've been talking like an idiot. Ay, ay, ay. So, guys, can everybody hear me now? All right, so this outdoor garden, it was just a hole in the ground before. I dug it 2 feet deep, and it was filled to the brim in dirt. However, because the backyard goes downhill, I had tons of pooling here and flooding and issues, and so I decided to frame the hole that I dug. So the original hole was 6 by 10, which is why we've got extra dirt around here. So I built a frame and then I bought a retaining wall from Home Depot, placed it on the frame, and I used the frame to level the ground. And then obviously now the bed is level and I'm sure to fill it with another 2 feet of dirt. So that is why I'm not concerned about spacing, you guys, because it's like we got 4 feet of dirt. Well, maybe not 4, maybe 3, but it's good enough. So, and then I also added, the garden is much smaller than last year. It was 6 by 10 and I used all 6 by 10 and I didn't have any stones or anything. I just used everything. However, every plant was spaced like a foot apart. So now I added stepping stones because I need a way to get in and tend to the plants. And then for the end there, I can just tend to the plants from the other side. I added some stakes in just to do chicken wire, because the bunnies like to, or squirrels or raccoons, whatever it is, like to eat my stuff. And these are just my dahlia tubers. So I have 2 spots right here, right there, and right there is where the other ones are gonna go in that are growing in the buckets. These are all dahlia tubers that I got from Vessi Seeds. Shout out to Ogo for the markers. So these are the same collection or lineup as the what's it called, the net pots. So these are the zinnias, 38 of them, different growth stages. Some of them, the smaller ones, I didn't even bother hardening off. I got lazy and I just threw them outside because that is what I do. And then the celosia are turning brown because they are too cold. So hopefully they'll be okay. And then there's real estate left. I'm anticipating filling up this and then having another row of celosia. So that's the outdoor garden, you guys. And then I trimmed my neighbor's tree. They have Japanese beetles all over this tree, and so I had to trim it to try to I don't know, mitigate any further issues. So that's it. That's the outdoor garden, you guys. There it is. Everything was started indoors in the aeroponic system. It was in for like, I don't know, 5 weeks? No, not 5 weeks. What am I saying? Those are the ones that bloom. Maybe 2-3 weeks. I don't know, you guys probably know better than I do. You were with me when we did it. But yeah, I'm just gonna head back inside. But yeah, guys, other than that, that's it. I actually can't finish the live in the tent because, as you guys know, I'm super paranoid. Once I go outside and I'm around the garden, I've learned the hard way that pests can come in or hitch a ride in, and I don't want to deal with that. So I'm going to have to wait till I can go back in the tent and just scrub in, so to speak. But yeah, guys, as for today, thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate you guys. I'm actually gonna cut the grass or something. I got to deal with that. But yeah, guys, that's the outdoor garden and that's the indoor garden. So thank you for hanging out with me today. I get quieter because I have nosy neighbors, but I appreciate you guys for hanging out. And tomorrow, same time, we're gonna take G4T's advice and we're gonna start some new seeds. So I appreciate you guys for joining, and don't forget to smash the like button. You've got a couple more minutes before I sign off. I'll leave you guys with a shot of the garden. There it is. All right, guys, everyone have a good day.